Community radio, for me and for many people involved, certainly has become a form of therapy. I think we've, radiotherapy, we've created a new technique. Welcome back to Rotary Roundup, and it's me, Busy Lizzie, here at the controls with my guest in the studio.
Redshift Radio, a community radio station in Crewe, South Cheshire, has been serving the needs of its community in Crewe since September 2010. There are over 200 community radio stations on FM or AM in the UK, with many more broadcasting via the internet like Redshift Radio. Founded by Liz Southall and Dr. Gavin Hammond, the station is now run by Busy Lizzie, as she's known. Besides the public service and social gain that community radio brings, there is a spectrum of emotional benefits, a kind of therapy it brings presenters of every age and background. We spent time with just 3 of the 50 or so presenters from Redshift Radio.
This is Tess and David of the Saturday Hangover.
It is indeed.
Welcome
everybody.
One of my friends presented on another community radio station, and they were running a competition to get a co-host just for one show, and I entered the competition, and unfortunately I didn't win the competition, but I worked with this guy as well. So after the day or so of me moaning at him that I wasn't going on air, the lady who was supposed to be going in, she rang him to say she couldn't do it anymore. So she said, so he just came up to me and he was like, "Do you fancy coming along?" So I went along and I sat there and I was really nervous, and as soon as the mic slider was put up, I was like, I love doing this, absolutely love it.
I'm Paul Boniface. It's 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning and we're ready for 2 hours of the most fantastic music from across the decades.
I came on as a guest on the business show, and I gave an interview to the business presenter, and Liz was listening in, and then a couple of weeks afterwards she gave me a call and she said, I enjoyed your interview when you came in as a guest. She said, the presenter's left, would you like to present the show? And because I wasn't familiar with all the buttons, etc., I asked if I could do a trial show just for myself, really, to get used to the buttons. And she was listening into that as well and said, oh, we rather like that Sunday brunch music you've been playing. Would you like to do that for us as well? So that's how I got involved with the Sunday brunch show.
When my teacher told me that I had to do work experience in year 10, I was like, oh gosh, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And I just thought, shall I just do it at a office? Shall I do it at a supermarket? And then my dad came on as a guest here for the arts hour, and he said, well, why don't you just try Redshift Radio? You know, it's somewhere to go for a week. And I was like, yeah, okay. And after that week with Redshift, I knew that I wanted to stay here and I wanted to have a profession in radio, and now I can't imagine myself doing anything else now.
So when we set up Redshift Radio, we set it up with a mind to get people involved and deliver a community communication channel for the area. What I didn't expect, and what's happened, which is absolutely lovely, is that there's very much, Redshift has become quite a kind of radiotherapy for a lot of people, and that's just not just presenters, but guests and people that come on quite regularly do seem to get quite a lot of enjoyment and indeed therapeutic benefits from working at Redshift.
Definitely with my confidence levels, I have to do presentations at work, and it even helped me get my latest job at Bentley, because I had to do a presentation and stand up in front of 3 total strangers, which was fine. Any more and I probably would have been terrified, but it definitely helps, definitely the confidence side of things.
I moved up here 4 years ago, and I'd been living in the south before that. So you come up here, I came up on my own, and yeah, you're looking for ways in which to make new friends, take up new hobbies. So when this one was offered to me, it really did fill a nice little gap. It introduced me to people who work at Redshift. It's given me amazing opportunities of visiting places that I hadn't done before, and I think professionally, because I also do the business show, it's helped my business as well.
I've sang to 8,000 people at the midnight walk. Before Redshift, I used to just sing to my family or sing in my room to myself, but now I sing to whoever wants to listen.
I think we all like to be creative. I can't play a musical instrument, I can't sing, but I can put together a show. And I think when I look back at it, if I've curated it correctly, if I've interacted correctly, if I feel when I listen back that it's something I would like to listen to, then it's never perfect, but it gives me a sense of satisfaction.
Black with
Black.
white flames.
And it's got like a little zebra on one of
It's
them.
not a zebra, the flames.
Well, okay, well, it's black and white. Okay, her right index finger, and doctors had to cut her palm to clean out the hand.
What, she lost a finger?
Yeah, it's lost a bit of a fingertip.
A whole finger?
Yeah.
I thought you meant the nail.
No, the clue's in the title, dear.
Oh, sorry.
Horror as nail glue girl loses.
It is a shame. It's a thing to do for
Even
beauty.
more of a shame because how's she going to pick a nose now?
Oh, David, that's disgusting.
No, it's a practical matter,
Oh,
isn't it? You know.
On that note, should we start talking about cars again? We've had
Sorry.
a lot of interaction from the listeners today.
So here you go with Mustang Sally and the Commitments. I will make sure the microphones are down because I'm liable to sing to this song.
I hate marshmallows. So Richard had the idea that we would play Chubby Bunnies, which is basically you put a marshmallow in your mouth and say Chubby Bunnies, and you just keep going until you can't fit any more in. And me hating marshmallows, obviously it sounded awful on radio, like gagging and everything, but it was so funny. I got 3 in and Richard got 11 in because I just couldn't stand the feel of them in my mouth anymore. I was like, oh, get them away from me.
I'll never forget the lady that came running out. I've got £5, but I want a kiss from Santa first. Like, stop, Santa, back you go.
Teach Jen how to growl. So she ended up growling Gangnam Style, which was quite entertaining. Oh, it was so funny.
He did this thing where he knows I love Ferrero Rocher, like they're my favourite chocolates ever. And he said, oh, Charlotte, I bought you some Ferrero Rochers. Oh, thanks, Eddie, that's so nice. And I ate one, and it was a sprout covered in chocolate with salt crystals in the chocolate to make it look like a proper Ferrero Rocher. Oh, and he was like, if you eat that, I'll donate £1 to children in need. I was like, I've got to eat it now, haven't I?
Bill says, good morning, Paul. You're probably the best DJ this side of the old man of Hoy. I never understand that. I was so excited by your choice of theme today that I had to dash to the Louvre. Whilst there, I picked up 2 Jason Pollocks. But I'm okay now, thanks. Can you please play for my treasure Marilyn one of the following, please? Scream by Michael Jackson while she munches on her sandwiches garnished with sunflowers. Oh dear, Bill. Or, and now I love this one, Monet, Monet, Monet by ABBA. Or Walk Like a Man by the Four Cezannes. Great show. Thanks from Bill of the Usual Suspects. Well, Bill, I've got to go with Monet, Monet, Monet.
The other thing that gets me more than anything, people's eyebrows. I don't understand this phase of people drawing eyebrows on the face. What's that about? What is that about?
Have I missed that?
You must see young girls who draw big black eyebrows on themselves.
Really?
Oh, David. Well, that
Like big bushy black eyebrows?
Not bushy ones. It's like they shave off the road and then draw on, like, they're awful, like hideous.
Right.
And I'll have to show you some pictures next week. In fact, we might make this a topic next week, shall we?
How big is your eyebrow?
How big are your eyebrows? No, about tan and beauty. We were talking about nails earlier
Oh, right,
as well,
okay.
and that sort of thing.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Oh my word, isn't it nice to know that the local criminals have that level of intelligence? We hope that improves. We hope that she improves as well. Not quite sure where I'm going with that one, so I think we'll change the topic and move on to something else. Uncoupling. Oh, I had a panic there. I thought that the record was finished, but actually it's the adverts.
I did have toothpaste sandwich, yeah.
And we put a question out to the listeners. What's your favourite sandwich? What's your favourite butty? But for some reason he decided a toothpaste butty was going to be a good idea as well. So he brought a toothpaste butty in, which was the most disgusting thing I've ever tried. It was vile. It was that grim that David had to change his toothpaste afterwards. He couldn't stomach it anymore.
One of the chaps I met at the other radio station was Gavin Hammond, who's Dr. Gav, as he's known or was known at Redshift, and we set Redshift Radio up together. In July of 2012, Gavin decided that he didn't want to be involved in Redshift anymore, so he left, and it's been me pretty much running Redshift ever since.
In terms of opportunities, I think it's opened up a lot of opportunities for presenters, because so many people have got involved with other aspects, taking on, we've now got a team of 3 or 4 people that will work on Myriad and scheduling and putting music on the system. We've got people that help me with managing the hub and booking guests.
And we're hoping that this year we'll hear from Ofcom as to whether we've got the full-time FM community licence for Crewe and Nantwich. So yeah, we're ready for our FM licence. A month ago, Ofcom phoned and said, "I'm terribly sorry, we've not got the FM."
I'm a big believer in one door closes, another door opens. That's the way of life. We aren't governed by Ofcom being on the internet, so it does allow us to be a little bit more relaxed. The team have been brilliant. People have just stepped up and really supported me, and so many more people have so many more current presenters have said, right, I fancy doing some of that, and I'll get involved with that, and I'll write the community news, and I'll help with doing audio on demand interviews and things. So there's lots of other things that have happened as a result, and presenters have been getting a bit more involved as well. We've had a few, it's fair to say, that have joined Redshift and felt it's not for them, or we've felt they're not right for us because for various reasons. They might have a very negative disposition, they might not be very community minded, they might be very unmanageable. Coming in and being able to talk on community radio or volunteer on community radio, it helps people with confidence and self-esteem, it motivates people.
I think if you work in a local community radio station, everyone seems much more like a family.
I'd never done any radio work before. I'd sat on the steps when I was 11 or 12 listening to Pick of the Pops on the radio, thinking that one day perhaps I would love to do that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So for me it took 40 years and a chance meeting to get that dream come true. And when I moved in here, I'm training with somebody else, and they said, would you like to have a go? And I said, yeah, why not? Let's have a go. And you can surprise yourself, I think, by just that, by having a go, getting the opportunity, throwing yourself in, see how it works, and then listen to the feedback.
I just think if anyone ever asks you, do you fancy getting involved with a community radio station or a radio station in general, always say yes, never say no, because it can really help you find yourself and develop your personality and just help you as a person figure out what you want in life.
The people that have stuck with us, and the difference in some of them, sometimes I don't even notice the difference because I see them week in, week out, but when I have conversations with people or people's parents or partners, and they say, Redshift has really made a difference to their life, and I know a couple of gentlemen that have come out of the studio almost in tears because they've just enjoyed it so much and they've fulfilled a lifelong ambition to be on the radio. And okay, they might not be presenting to tens of thousands of people, but they've got the buzz and they've got the vibe. Looking at the past Redshift, the last 2.5 years of Redshift, and looking to the future and how we manage challenges, we've come together as the Redshift family, as many of our presenters refer to ourselves. Community radio, for me and for many people involved, certainly has become a form of therapy.